G'day folks, welcome to another video on Nick's Vision to Hear. Time to go down a big rabbit hole. We're about to delve into the National Disability Insurance Scheme. Okay, let's get into this because it's very important that we cover all the bases. Now, I've been working with AI to come up with a solution to fix the NDIS. And between me and AI, we've fixed it. And it all stems from a very simple philosophy. If you live in a state where you have a tap-on, tap-off system for their public transport system, this is the key to fixing the NDIS. You would get an NDIS card. So, here's how this would work. When a provider comes to your home, i.e. a cleaner or a transport worker or somebody like that, to pick you up or to do the work for you, you tap onto their phone app. Tap on. When they leave, tap off. If they forget to do that, they get red flagged. Yep, that's right. That's simple. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes because there's a lot to get through here. So contactless service. So for example, a lawn mowing service or a maintenance service whereby they don't need to actually see the client. Well, we've worked that one out for you. A sticker on your back door. Could be above the keyhole or it could be at eye height. It's a sticker with a QR code on it. That QR code is used by the provider. They log into their app, they open up the QR code feature, bang, it opens it up to say that they've tapped on. Then they have to submit a photo of what they're doing before they commence the service. So a gardener takes a photo of your lawn that's a little bit long. They then commence the service. You're then sent a text message with the photo of that provider, taking that photo to approve that you know they're at your home and you know they're about to start work. When they finish, they tap off. And they then they take another photo of the finished product. It's also sent to the NDIS and you. That's the contactless. Now, how would this work for group transport bookings? We've already done that. We've already covered this one. Basically, the way this would work is the provider would have the app open from person A's house. So the person A gets their little card out and taps on, like they do when they get on a train. Simple. And point B and point C, all the same, all happens. When the desired amount of tap-ons have finished, the provider knows because they'll be driving, so they're not going to be tapping on anything. When they start the driving from the first person's house, the provider needs to indicate into the app, this is the way it should work, how many tap-ons and tap-offs there'll be. So when it does the last tap-on, the tap-on session finishes automatically. So the provider can then drive off. The system automatically tracks it via GPS, by the way, from points A to point B. Now, when they get to the destination of the travel, the provider then taps to say, we've arrived at the destination. It might be a trip to Melbourne or it might be an activity. So when that happens, the provider taps to say they've finished transport. So that logs the Ks that the person's done on GPS tracking. It's all logged. Then that way they know, the NDIS knows they've commenced. When they start the travel home, they tap on again. So the hours of that time that's been at the event is tracked anyway, because they know the tap off, the start time of the event that they've gone to commences the minute the provider indicates they've stopped traveling. That happens. They then activate it again on the way home. So everybody taps on at the transport level, but they don't need to tap on again, only the provider does, because the provider is driving the vehicle. So the provider activates the transport for the drive home. The K's are tracked. It's all GPS. It's all done through GPS. It's fairly easy. Technology's around. So as they finish, the provider has to put in the amount of tap-offs there'll be. So when the first one commences, bang, it all goes back down the chain, down the pipe. All works that way. If they swap cars, there should be a precedence in that to be able to have maybe multiple provider employees in the system. So that can be tracked in some way. There'd need to be a safeguard with that, but there would be able to be done. So that's the group travel. Now, let's get to the email and phone call conversations with service providers. This is where this is going to be very interesting, because these people know how to do this stuff, and this is where ghosting becomes a problem. If a provider bills you an email to say, "G'day, hello, how you going?" that's not an official communication. They should not charge you for that. Because guess what? Emails are charged in 15-minute blocks. That's right. This alienates that. Because in the email, the provider is going to have to click the participant, when they read the email, activates a link to say that they've read the email. Done all this, and we've all worked this out. The AI and I have worked very tirelessly to come up with this system. So that tracks the email. It's billed then instantly that the person's read it. Now, it could be written as the amount of words of the email is how the bill's done. So how do you do it with phone calls? Easy. It's a two-step authentication. When the provider calls the participant, i.e. the service coordinator, they have to send a message to the client or to the participant that allows them to approve a text message. What that does is that then puts the billing so the phone call is tracked. So that's how that would fix that, so that there's an authentication to say that the person approves the phone call. Because you can have a text message come through on your phone whilst you're on a phone call, so it actually can work. That would fix that problem. So this is how the system needs to work. This is a paper trail all the way through. This card, which could become the NDIS card, it'd be nice and purple and it would have the big love heart on it. This is your security to protect your plan from fraudsters, ghosters, and not very nice people that want to use your NDIS plan to make a lot of money for themselves. This is a safeguard. So I suggest you share this video far and wide and send it to all your service providers, including your local area coordinators. They might want to just hear what I've just told you about. This system would fix fraud in the NDIS and probably stop a lot of people from overcharging you for services they don't even provide. Your card becomes the gateway to you. So it's not a surveillance mechanism. It's your set of keys to your plan. You enjoy your day? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. We'll be doing more content on this particular topic because I think it's worth discussing. A tap on and tap off system for the NDIS. You enjoy your day.